Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to talk once more about Jean Grey, but this time around I'm going to give you guys my accumulated tips and strategies for how to try and counter Jean Grey in timeline battle in PvP game modes. Now I want to start by saying that all of the characters and all of the qualities that I'm going to talk about to battle Jean Grey with should be at tier 2 because she is a native tier 2. You don't want to try this with tier 1 characters. And I also want to let you guys know that this is not a complete list, nor is it 100% foolproof. I've only found one character so far who can consistently kill Jean Grey when played on manual, none that can do it on auto, and your results may vary, so please don't take my word as gospel, but take this as an opportunity to think of new ideas and also take what I've learned and see my results and try to build on them. But before we talk specifically about what we're going to do to counter Jean Grey, we need to analyze quickly what she can do and why it's such a big threat. So I think the biggest problem with Jean Grey is her 5th skill, Phoenix Awaken, because of the fact that not only does it give her a bump to her damage, but it allows her to pierce, super armor, shields, immune, invincible. This means that just putting up your Sorcerer's Apprentice for Doctor Strange or using Odin's Barrier is not going to keep you safe. Even an invincibility obelisk will not keep you safe. If she triggers this skill, you're dead unless you're iframing or you switch characters. The other huge problem with her is that she has a long iframe on her 4th skill, which renders basically every kind of defense, including reflect, unavailable, again, except for iframes. And then the third huge problem with Jean Grey is that she heals, she debuffs you, she gets immune to guard break, and she gets a guard hit up so that she will take less damage because of that refreshing guard hit. And then the last problem, if there weren't already enough, is that if she is the leader, she is basically immune to debuffs. So you can't stun her, you can't freeze her if she's in the leadership position. So that uniquely positions her to be probably one of the most deadly, if not hands down the deadliest PvP player in the game. But I have devised a few ways that you can try and counter them, and I'm going to divide them into their category. The first category is probably the most experimental. I haven't done much testing with it, but it's around guaranteed dodge, because the only thing that Jean Grey is lacking is dodge ignore. So if you see that on an obelisk, you're done. You're fucking done. But if she doesn't have that on an obelisk, or if she doesn't have that as a leadership from someone like Miles Morales or Bullseye, which is probably never going to happen, then you are open to trying it. I tried it out a little bit, as you'll see in some of the clips ahead, with Ant-Man. I was not successful because, one, my Ant-Man is not geared at all. He has no Uru. He has a pretty sad obelisk. It's got crit and a proc, but it's not enough, and his ISOs are not even high level. So I think if you geared an Ant-Man super offensively, you could use him with limited success against Jean Grey, but you have to be very specific in the Jean Greys that you pick. You can't pick Jean Greys that have dodge ignore or invincibility obelisks, because Ant-Man just doesn't do enough to overcome both her guard on her 3rd skill, which refreshes, and her invincibility and her healing. He just doesn't do enough damage to kill her once, let alone twice. Let's try Ant-Man. Trigger you, there you go. So you can almost one-shot her with that 4th skill. That's interesting. Maybe Ant-Man is our Lord and Savior. Oh shit. Yeah, he just can't hit her, that's what the problem is. And he's getting stunned as well. Oh, I hit her once there. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Go Ant-Man, go Ant-Man. No, he can't do it. It's too bad. Whoops, wrong skill. Rip Ant-Man. Yep. Some other options for guaranteed dodge that you could try that I haven't been able to try yet. Spider-Gwen gets 40% guaranteed dodge with her tier 2 passive. It is only for 20 seconds. and her damage is also quite low compared to Ant-Man, so she might also struggle. Another option that I theory crafted but I haven't yet tried myself is Singularity, because she also gets 40% guaranteed dodge, but it's up all the time, so it does give her a chance, and she can pierce barrier effects. So Singularity might be a good try. If someone has her extremely well geared at tier 2, they could give it a try in timeline and report back to us in the comment section. I would like to see that, but that's about all I've been able to theory craft for a guaranteed dodge. But there is some ray of hope in that specific area because she lacks ignore dodge. The second factor you can consider when trying to counter Jean Grey is healing. If you can do enough damage and out heal her damage that she does to you, you have a chance to kill her because you can kind of stay alive long enough. Presently, however, there's only one character that can do that, and you guessed it, it's Wolverine. Even with the type difference, you can one-shot Jean Grey if you have a fully built Wolverine with Berserker Rage, and added on, it's an iframe, so it protects Logan from damage. He also has an iframe on his second skill, which can offer you a bit more of an interruption if you see she's going to do her fifth skill or another. It's still very difficult, and you may need to invest in a defensive ISO 8 slot or an obelisk of invincibility, but his healing does put him in the conversation and does give you a fighting chance, but definitely not anything guaranteed. So those first two options are much more experimental, much more on the fringes. The next two, I think, are more viable for the general public. I think the second best way to counter Jean Grey is with Destroyer's Reflect specifically. Now, I know there are some other characters in the game who have Reflect, but Destroyer is the man of the hour when it comes to energy reflect, and I have seen him kill or basically one-shot Jean Grey before when she uses her fifth skill, when she uses her third skill, second skill, first skill. If Jean Grey decides to use her fourth skill, kiss that robot goodbye. He's done. That's an iframe skill. It's going to ignore the reflect, and Destroyer's basically dead. You can try to roll an obelisk for him that has max HP and fire resist. That might be your only way of, perfectly gearing him against Jean Grey, but it's still kind of a 70% chance. You're not guaranteed that she will ignore her fourth skill. She actually does tend to prioritize it from what I've seen in timeline, which makes it much more difficult to position Destroyer effectively. You almost have to sacrifice another character when you see her fourth skill and then quickly switch over into Destroyer and try to reflect. Because Destroyer plays so passively, you're almost just throwing him out there and hoping for the best. And if you get it, great. If you don't, better luck next time. Thankfully, Destroyer can basically one-shot her, so if you do get the reflect to land, it's basically a guaranteed hit because she does so much damage and she just can't heal it back because it's reflected back at her. So that is good, but you will need to tier 2 Destroyer, and he's essentially just a PvP character at this point, so I'm not sure how viable that is for the general player base. Especially new players, they probably have no chance to beat Jean Grey. That's the skill that's gonna that skill fucks you up the most. The last and the top most likely way to beat Jean Grey is with iframes. And now that sounds a lot easier than it actually is. You need to devise, or you need to think up or choose a character that has multiple iframes, instant iframes, not partial iframes like Kate Bishop's skills where it's an iframe at the beginning or an iframe at the end. You need a character that has a total 100% iframe and has more than one of them, so you can chain iframes. Ideally, chain iframes so that you actually never get hit or almost never get hit. It's not an easy task, and very few characters can do it. But there is one who shines above the rest and is actually my top pick for Jean Grey to kill her. And that's my boy, St. Thomas. Praise be the Thanos, the Mad Titan. He rears his ugly head once again to prove that he is not washed up. He is not a bad native tier 2 to invest in, because he kills Jean Grey consistently, and I stand by that statement. My Thanos is not geared at all. I'm actually missing one of his gears. It's not even at level 20. No Uru. I am also Groot ISO set, which is super suboptimal. He should have binary power or drastic density enhancement. Okay, his skills are not even level 6. His obelisk, I will admit, is good. Recovery, dodge, and invincibility is great for a PvP Thanos. But aside from the obelisk, my Thanos is nowhere near perfect. You can see rank 17,000. But I took down almost every single Jean Grey that I fought with 2 skills. Titan Punch, which debuffs her invincibility obelisk if it procs, and Cosmic Drop, which is a long iframe with intermittent damage, which protects him from all of her rage and will basically kill her, or at least do 50% of her health. The basic strategy with Thanos, as you will see from the clips to come, is you either start with Cosmic Drop or you start with Titan Punch, then you go into the next skill, and then you just rotate those 2 skills as long as you have max skill cooldown. You may need to throw in Cosmic Rain once in a while because it provides an iframe at the beginning, but you do not want to let that skill run through, because you will get killed once Thanos starts throwing those blue orbs. You're just using 4 for the iframe, and then you're using either 2 to give you 1 second of invincibility and to remove the buff, which would be her invincibility or her guard, whichever one you're hitting, and then going straight into Cosmic Drop. Cosmic Drop is how you will kill her. However, you can, after leaving Cosmic Drop and coming down, you can debuff her invincibility obelisk and one-shot her from half health with Titan Punch if you have enough damage and if you get lucky with a crit. Because of the way Titan Punch works, it's actually 2 hits in one. The first hit sucks the opponent in and debuffs them, and then the second hit throws them back and actually does damage, and if they've lost their invincibility obelisk, will hit their health. So I found that the 1 and the 5th skill are an incredible 1, 2, 3 punch, no pun intended, for dealing with Jean Grey, and as you will see from the clips, I was quite successful at it with just a little bit of practice. Shot it before he even fucking enters the arena. That's fun. That's pretty good. There's just dead ones. Trying to iframe, can't iframe. Okay. Oh, what the fuck just happened there? There we go, got him. So if you don't have Thanos and you are hoping to ace Jean Grey's all on timeline, I'm sorry, but it is something to look forward to if you are building the Mad Titan, and it is a bit refreshing to see that one of our oldest, I think our oldest actually, yeah, our oldest native tier 2 character suddenly found his relevance again. I'm happy for him, and I'm sure some of you are. So let me know what you guys think of my breakdown as far as these PvP options for Jean Grey. Let me know if you found any other options for consistently killing her, because that is the name of the game. That is what we need to know and need to theorycraft moving forward. I want to hit you guys with a quick little snippet just before we go. I have a new game that I'm going to play with you guys on Twitch tomorrow, so the next live stream after this video. So if you want to check out some new content, if you want to play a new game that is still kind of in beta, it's not yet released for everyone in the public, you can jump on over to Twitch and join me. I will be playing it after Future Fight. It should be a lot of fun. Additionally, guys, if you're curious about my latest tier 2 advancements, because I do have some new faces added to the list in the form of Captain Marvel and Satana, you should jump on Twitch as well, because that's where we're tier 2ing characters. We might be tier 2ing another one tomorrow, I'm not sure, but we may be tier 2ing a character every day, because who needs black antimatter? Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you think of Jean Grey and the PvP scene as it stands right now. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.